Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're looking at lesson 11, dividing rational numbers. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. Multiplication and division. Find the missing values in the equation. So we've got all these different equations and we need to find what the question mark should be. So for the first one, we have -3 times 4 equals question mark. Well, what should it be? -3 times 4 should equal -12. For the next one, -3 times what should equal +12? Well, that should be a -4, because remember, a negative times a negative makes a positive. All right, 3 times what will equal 12? Well, in order to get a positive, when we already have one positive, we're going to need another positive. Question mark times -4 equals +12. We have a negative. What do we have to multiply a negative by to get a positive? A -3. And the last one, question mark times 4 equals -12. So if 4 is positive, our 3 needs to be negative in order to have a -12. All right, now these were all multiplication problems. Now we're going to take and look at converting these multiplication problems into division problems. So for the first one, it's not applicable. We can't do that based on what we were initially given there. We could, so we could say 12 divided by 4 is -3. That would work. But if we're trying to keep with our values, we could say it 12 divided by 4. Oops. Drop my negative. -12 divided by 4 equals -3. All right, for B, we had the -3 times question mark equals 12. Our question mark was -4. So we're going to take what we had, 12 divided by -3 equals -4. So essentially what we're doing is we're not just writing equations, division equations, based off what we have there, because it's all the same problem. What we're really looking at, is taking and how we would go about solving this. So for the next one, we have 12. We're going to divide it by 3 to get 4. Next one, we're going to take 12, divide it by -4 to get -3. And the last one, we're going to take -12 divided by 4 to get -3. So it's how we're taking and going about solving these. That's what we're looking at in the rewriting our equations as division problems. That's why, goodness, I'm so sorry. That's why the first one I put not applicable, because we can't, because we don't actually know what it equals, but just showing you that we could write division equations. All right, so for number 3, complete the sentences. The sign of a positive number divided by a positive number is always positive divided by positive is going to be positive. The sign of a positive number divided by a negative number is always negative. The sign of a negative number divided by a positive number, also negative. So if there's an odd number of negatives in your problem, then it's negative. So if there's one negative, so one number has a negative, then you're going to get a negative answer. If you have 3 numbers, so let's say, obviously in division not so much, but in multiplication, -3 times -4 times -5 would result in a negative solution. And for D, the sign of a negative number divided by a negative number is always positive. So remember, just like with multiplication, negative and a negative make a positive, positive and a positive make a positive, negative and positive make a negative. All right, for number 4, Han and Claire walk towards each other at a constant rate, meet up, and then continue past each other in opposite directions. We will call the position where they meet up 0 feet and the time they meet up 0 seconds. Han's velocity is 4 feet per second. Claire's velocity is negative 5 feet per second. Where is each person 10 seconds before they meet up? So remember, just like we were doing in a previous lesson where we had the cars and we took the velocity times the time, we're going to take 4 times 10, which is going to give us 40, and negative 5 times 10, which will give us negative 50. So Han is at 40 feet. Claire is at 50 feet at 10 seconds before they meet up. For B, when is each person at the position negative 10 feet from the meeting place? So that first one was multiplication, but this one we're looking at division because we want to know at 10 feet. So we're going to take the negative 10 and we're going to divide. So negative 10 divided by 4 equals negative 2.5, and negative 10 divided by negative 5 equals 2. So we're dividing. We're taking the position and we're dividing it by the velocity. So taking negative 10 and dividing by 4 will give us the negative 2.5, and negative 10 divided by the negative 5 gives us a positive 2. So positive 2 seconds there. So dividing and multiplication, when it comes to positives and negatives, it's the exact same sort of idea. 2 negatives make a positive, 2 positives make a positive, but 1 positive and 1 negative make a negative. So your keyword for this lesson is dividing. Dividing is your keyword for this lesson, okay? All right, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day.